All right, welcome back. Appreciate you coming to check out Dan's Trades. Today I want to talk a little bit about what we did. I had a couple trades today on both combine accounts. So I do actually have two active open combine accounts, one 50K and 100K, or excuse me, 150. So a 50 and a 150. And the 150 is what we're focusing on. I do still have the older 50K that I didn't start documenting, but I'll just show you what we did today. Here's looking at NQ from a daily basis. We'll do a little bit of a top-down analysis, and then I'll look at today's trades. So initial bias coming into today is we have a bearish bias based on next day's thoughts. Monday was a massive day up. Tuesday came back down, closed above. So since we closed above Monday's high, we are bearish for today, looking for price to move above previous day's high of 16,868 was yesterday's high. And we see prices actually trading right now. This is the afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time. So market's still open right now, but I'm just covering what we did this morning. So overall, bullish bias. I did get a little lucky today on a counter trend trade, since I did see a bearish setup, so we'll go into that. And we won't spoil it. So there's the daily candle today so far. And I have everything hidden right now just to get a view for the chart before, as what we like to call the lipstick is on it. So I'll unhide all my little notations just so I know, give me a better view on where I'm trading, and I'm doing better at documenting everything. So hopefully this helps you guys. I got weekly fair value gap that we were trading into, almost completely closed it a couple days ago. It just came within a few ticks, so this weekly fair value gap is pretty much already closed in. I'll consider it done, pull it off the charts pretty soon. But I'm looking at now we have had a daily bullish fair value gap, which technically right now, if this were to close, this has been a balanced price range now because we've traded up through it. We are above it right now, but we'll see where price closes. But that's what I was looking at this morning. And inside of that, if I drop down to the 4-hour chart, we see there was a 4-hour fair value gap, which I documented here. So I'm doing better at documenting that when they are called out. I'll do the same thing for buy side and sell side liquidity going forward. So always just trying to get better. Hopefully that helps you guys a little bit and how you document your trades. So the 4-hour, we have these areas of interest. Drop down to the 1-hour. Actually, let's just drop all the way down to the 15-minute because that's where I usually start once the trading for the day begins. So here's recent activity. This was overnight last night. So this was yesterday's PM session where we closed. Asian session, London session, big rally in London, which set up this big fair value gap on a 15-minute chart, which I was watching, and we closed below. So this is a FISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, fair value gap. So normally this would be bullish up until the point where it's invalidated, which is right here on this close. So then it becomes an inversion fair value gap. And we see price tagged it a couple times overnight in the early morning hours and then move down to actually come down and take out the London low here. Just barely. I mean, it doesn't need much. There's the handshake. So we took out the London lows right there, then we rallied away. So I was looking at that. We had already swept sell side. Hopefully I said that right. I apologize if I say things backwards. I know it happens to the best of them. So my short term, I was looking at some potentials there of counter trend scalps. So if we drop down to the 5-minute, literally just watching the open happen, we had a fair value gap form. Again, once it was closed, it becomes invalidated, and I was showing this as a bearish fair value gap, which technically should have been probably an inversion one. Since we closed below here, I didn't take anything on this. What time we got here? Well, we'll see when we got here. Closed below becomes inverted, and then a 5-minute. Let me pause here for a second. All right, and a quick pause there, get my bearings. You'll notice that once things have been a few minutes, you actually forget. At least maybe it's just because I'm getting older. But so 9:30 open happened. Price ran up, traded up into this inversion fair value gap from being closed overnight that we talked about. Price bounced off it a few times. We see it now in the 5-minute chart as well. Never even made it to consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Price moved back down. Once this candle here closed below, which inverted this fair value gap because it did not bounce off, did not respect consequent encroachment and rally once again. Instead, it broke down below. And when this 5-minute closed here, we created this bearish fair value gap. So we have multiple PD arrays lining up for a short-term bearish counter trend trade. Inversion fair value gap below, inversion fair value gap once closed, bearish, bearish, and a bearish brand new fair value gap had formed. So I was looking for a short trade, wanting to target this most recent swing low here. I'll throw a ray on there. Right before the open, 16,809, or even previous. So we'll drop down into a 1-minute. Looking at that, swing back over the morning. So there's our 5-minute bearish fair value gap is the red that we saw there. And since I had that labeled, let's add that to it. M5 inside of there, so I know where it's drawn from. And I was actually, I'll throw a shout out to Tanya Trades. I was in her live stream, which ICT was also in, so it was almost like we had a live mentorship going on. So I mentioned in a previous video that you can't trade off other people. I'm working on also doing the best I can with ICT type trading and finding people that trade with his similar concepts just to help myself grow. So I was watching them and actually seeing ICT in the chat, which is fantastic. So Michael, if you ever hear this, thank you so much for everything. Doing my best to do my best. And I know you even said that we got lucky on this trade, which we did. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I don't rely on that in my trading. But we were talking about this one, and I was watching this, looking for a potential target down here was my aim. So I'll throw on the executions for this trade, and we see once this candle closed, I wanted to enter here, but I honestly didn't have the confidence yet, so I didn't have my limit order set here. What I did is I waited for the candle to close on a 1-minute basis, and I entered there. So we see the red X, so my entry was here. My target was down here. Again, being counter trend for the day, my bias was bullish. I knew it was going to be a short-lived trade, so market ordered in on the close. Tiny little bit of heat when it came up, and then came back right back down in that minute, so I was feeling good. Started moving the stop down. I am more aggressive at trailing my stops on a counter trend trade. Next candle opened, we see my close was here, which I targeted this low. Again, because I'm still not 1,000% confident in everything, getting better every day. Looking for another close below, and the low of this candle was 16,813.50, and you can see the buy limit to close it out was at 16,814, so just slightly front running, looking to take the trade out. Once I build more confidence, I will hold for this, which it did ultimately make before it reversed back up. And I think this was the point where you'd mentioned to people saying people got lucky on that fair value gap, which is absolutely true, but it was only the one and only trade I took on that combine account. So we'll flip that up quick. So that was a $290 profit with the single buy and sell there. You see the market order in, limit order out. So at least I got the limit order out. Working on getting better for both of those. And then we rally back above. This then, once this closed back above, this became a inverted fair value gap as well. Or I'll just call it a, where we go, inversion, there we go. Once this closed above on that trade, so which can be now used for support or a bullish fair value gap, which you see it never closed below. And let me flip over to my combine accounts from the 150 to the 50K, and we'll probably give it away ahead of time, but just let you know we were profitable by 182 on that one with 3 trades on that one. These were not as refined again, getting better every day. Market ordered in here, took a short scalp off. This one I'm clawing at my teeth to take some small trades back on the 50K combine. So I scalped one here, took a second entry here. This is the one where I got better. So I actually placed the limit right there as it was coming back on the retrace. I wanted to get long again. Targeting equal highs up here was the goal. Entered one trade here, exited just for some small profits. I saw it retrace coming back. Then once we didn't close below, took one more trade on a quick scalp. Very not refined again trading, but that's how I'm just getting better right now all the time. So I'm working on getting better, place the limit here. And then once the wicks come down, I had less confidence, so I closed it out, then got more confidence and came back. So just seat time, getting better every day. At least all three trades were all winners today, and we're starting to claw back. So the original 50K did not lose it, but we came back 200, so that's a decent profit on the day for that one. So just under 500 for both accounts on the trading day, 290 on one and 182 on the other. So I'll take that as a win in my book. Hopefully this helps you a little bit. Any questions, throw me a comment, let me know, and we'll talk to you next time. Remember, as always, tomorrow is not promised. Live today. Later.